Right, it is currently 1:07 p.m. still. I just completed a video for illustrative purposes, and you were witnessing the demonic. This is the video that I just captured. So I'm opening up my camera. I'm inside of the apartment, which is where I stand now. The reason why I'm doing a screen recording is because I am dealing with the demonic. You are getting an education and the demon possessed who are group stalking you, and the demonic environment where the demon possessed are group stalking you. And that is the placement of a light source, which you are ignorantly referring to as the sun, based on the preconditions that we are born into with regard to what Satan is doing. And Satan is deceiving us about the environment that surrounds us. It's not the natural environment with regard to referring to the light source in the sky above you and above me. That's now at I'm not at Alvarado Gardens, at Woodside Senior Apartments in Ontario, California. That's not possibly the sun, as it remained day and night, even through the hallway window. Let me be clear, that duration of time through the hallway window at the Holiday Inn in Hesperia, California, it remained for a duration of hours from as early as 7:51 in the morning until 3:05 in the afternoon, based on that highly unintelligent pattern of conduct of maintaining a light source. That, again, at this time, it's 11:56 a.m. when I'm still at the Holiday Inn, but you have it right now over my head. It is 12:29 p.m. when I'm at the Holiday Inn. I'm still at the Holiday Inn. At 12:41 p.m. I'm still at the Holiday Inn. I am leaving the Holiday Inn at September 14, 2020. And I am capturing the light source that's remaining over me, while I am going then looking at the Holiday Inn at a distance where that light source no longer remains over that building. But that's what I'm looking at when I am inside of the hotel window, capturing that light source that removes itself from that Holiday Inn, showing that a whole population, a hotel full of people were stalking me together, and the entity kept the light source over me, which is what I'm capturing with regard to the movement of a specific environment. And while I am capturing the specific environment, 12:57 p.m., the entity is keeping the light source. So if you're looking at the video that I just captured right now, 12:57 p.m., I'm on the freeway driving in from Victorville. I'm on the hill, and the light source that's right now over me at 1:01 p.m. when I just captured this video at 1:01, I'm stationary, not on the freeway right now, which is where I was at this time on September 14, 2024. It's 1:10 p.m., so I'm capturing the light source over me at where San Bernardino police were group stalking in helicopter, and I captured the light source directly over me at Hallmark and Parkway. And this was a demon who engages in molesting me, molesting my person, with, again, the impossible occurrence that sunlight is going to ricochet inside of your car, move all about all over you while a person is just driving next to you. That's speaking to the intent, the purpose to terrorize and group stalk you. And this is what a male is doing, and this male is going to be prosecuted as a sex offense. An unlawful touching, because it's demonic in nature, is not going to change the fact that it's an unlawful touching and it's serving a criminal purpose. And this is what was documented on podcasts where the San Bernardino Police Department are crossing paths in a helicopter, and this license plate and my presence and the impossibility that the sun is going to remain both over the Holiday Inn at Hesperia 9750 Key Point Avenue, and also move in real time as I leave that hotel and am present in San Bernardino at Hallmark Parkway and University at 1:15 p.m., which is where San Bernardino police were stalking in a helicopter. That's why I stopped here. Well, that's not why I stopped there. I was already getting off the freeway. San Bernardino begins crossing path, and you know that it's stalking because the light source. This is not the natural environment. The population is stalking me, and that identification is seen through the maintenance of an environment that is clearly inexplicable and unnatural. And that's how you're also being made aware of the demon possessed, who know exactly who you are, because it's spiritual. Because you don't know them in the natural. You don't have to, nor do you have to prosecute them for group stalking. So this is what the entity is keeping over this apartment. And that's what I'm capturing when I'm showing you the impossible light activity. That's exactly what's captured in this video. And as I do so, the entity in real time removes the light source. And by the entity, I mean who? Satan himself is creating a demonic imitation of the natural environment. The natural environment is not one such that there are 14 suns, or, for example, as many states as we have. Like there's 52 suns, one's over every state, but it would even require more than that, because the entity had one remaining over Alvarado Gardens, remaining over San Diego County, remaining over San Bernardino County, specifically where I'm at in Ontario, which is distinct from the light source that's remaining over me in Las Vegas, Nevada, directly over the top of my vehicle. While I'm en route from California to Nevada, the entity's maintaining a light source directly over me when I'm working in Riverside, California. I've already documented this in Harupa Valley, directly over the apartment complex, Country Village Apartments, where the entity is stalking in a helicopter and a fake sun is over that apartment complex where I'm working. This is speaking to well more than 52 suns. Okay? Because the sun is not an object that's going to maintain perpetual presence over your person, whether you're in constant movement or whether you stay stationary, which much of my evidence shows, a sunrise and a sunset at the same address. So as I'm speaking to this in real time, which I'm going to go ahead and show, that's why I said I was going to do a screen recording for, because this is exactly where the fake sun was over me. This is the light source as I captured it at 12:54 in the afternoon. And as you saw on September 14, 2024, the Holiday Inn at 12:57, I am still in Hesperia, California. That is not over the apartment complex, Woodside Senior Apartments. Nor is this position, as you see it above the above this apartment complex, this position of a light source. And this position, if it wasn't demonic and it was the natural environment, is not the explanation for the light activity inside of this apartment. This is light that's going in a perpendicular direction as opposed to the light, the sun, that's directly over the top of us. This light source, which is not the sun, couldn't be while it's remaining over Holiday Inn, while it's remaining, okay, 12:54 p.m. Do you know where I was at? In San Diego. I was at the San Diego Police Department at 1 p.m., which is why I started this video at 1:01 p.m. okay? And the light source is directly over my apartment building at 1 p.m. As I'm referencing the reality of Satan, as I'm pointing out demons such as license 9JUZ605, this is another white woman stalking a black woman, just referencing the carnal. This is a demon-possessed person who's stalking someone and has the intent to stalk that person in the specific environment, creating a method of light activity that's also occurring with simultaneity to what I'm physically doing. While this demon knows that I'm aware, this demon takes their foot off the brake. While this demon knows that I'm aware and capturing images of them, this demon turns on their hazard lights, which is light activity, in sync with my conduct physically and my communication device activity under a light source that's not possibly the sun. That's how you understand the intent to engage in criminal surveillance and federal stalking. This is the terrorism that Mike Lorenz is engaging in with the population. Mike Lorenz and the demons, the government actors, the state actors, the corrupt and dangerous terrorists that are calling themselves police officers, stalking me in a helicopter, multiple helicopters day and night, while an outright departure from having any sun over the Holiday Inn, which is the last venue that I was located, where I stayed for a prolonged period, weeks, and the sun was rising and setting at the Holiday Inn on its face. It's the evidence of the crime scene. Nonetheless, the light source, as I captured in video, rapidly gone. Okay, that's the demonic, not the natural environment. The entity is, again, listening to everything, and that's pursuant to Title 18 criminal conduct. So the light source, again, as I look up to the sky, so I just want you to see the rapid movement. That's 12:54 p.m. Go back, sorry. 12:54 p.m. And you're looking outside. You see this vantage point, but yet you still see the engineer light that's on the opposite, on the ceiling and behind the door and on the far wall. The light source has nothing to do with the engineered light. You are looking at the demonic. This is what I'm continuously showing you through the evidence in plain sight. You're seeing the light source. You are seeing what is distinct from the light source, which is all of the engineered light that's covering everything. It's not sunlight and it's not the sun. So you're breaking your mind away from the illusions that you are clearly looking at. All right. And the unnatural environment is the evidence of it. I want to go back because I captured the absence of the light source. Let me just see. Captured, you're witnessing the demonic, while the fake sun that's directly over the top of my head, which are, all right, so it's gone, it's covered up with clouds because it was directly over the top of my head as I stood outside. And not only that, this is the light activity. This is the fake sun that was directly over the top of my head at the front door. This is what I just captured at 12:56 p.m. And I also captured the engineered light that's on the floor on the inside of the apartment. Equally impossible light activity. These are the circumstances where the fake sun is shining. All right, and this is, again, not a cloudy day. This is real-time knowledge about what's being documented, the criminal conduct. It's not helping demons such as the people of the state. It's not helping demons such as the Ontario Police Department. It's showing the fact that they are demon-possessed, fully engaged and knowledgeable, that is, regarding everything that's being exposed about them, which is going to result in what is a prosecution in the natural under natural law. That is, federal stalking is underway while they're engaged in state surveillance, all of which is demonic. Demonic knowledge that they maintain corporately and demonic criminal activity. The course of conduct that they engage in is demonic at its core, and it's criminal activity. This is the engineer light. This is captured at 12:53 p.m. This is the fake sun that I'm capturing at 12:54. Immediately I step out while the entity is aware of everything that I'm speaking of, and the light source is gone minutes later. It's not a cloudy day. Remember, it would never be the sun at any point in the day at all, ever. And it has nothing to do with the engineered light that fills the apartment. This is speaking to an intent by a population to engage in group stalking. This is the basis for federal prison by the demon, the third party, the third-party group stalking in apartment 55. Incessant harassment and terrorism as an entity, group stalking, and also in a private space is what represents the people of the state living in apartment 55 directly above me in apartment number, directly above this apartment in apartment number 55. And there's the absence of the light source. It's gone, okay? Covered up by clouds, which is what I showed in LA, living and working at Alvarado Gardens on an ongoing basis. When you're surrounded by malicious demons, these are mentally ill psychopaths who are engaging in a pattern of conduct showing the fact that they are demon possessed and that Satan is real, controlling the environment around you, and then giving you natural explanations regarding the environment, the condition of the environment, what we are doing to the environment as though it is the natural environment, and it's not. Okay, these are fables you've been told. This is the same unnatural environment that is the narrative regarding the demon possessed, such as CAL FIRE, San Bernardino County Fire Department. All of these fire departments in the state of California are engaged in this pattern of conduct, and they are attributing the fake sun and the engineered environment as the cause for the annual fires and the manufactured emergencies. It is the work of Satan. They're making money off of it. They're getting money from the federal government, by the way, who is not ignorant about it. Nonetheless, I just want to be clear. I'm prosecuting the state of California, and you can draw your own conclusions. Hopefully you are guided by wisdom that the Holy Spirit provides, and what Scripture states is necessarily going to happen, and what's going on with regard to the course of history. That's what should guide your conclusions that you're making, because you're looking at what the Lord Jesus is revealing, and he's not permitting Satan to maintain any secrets regarding what governments are doing and how it is affecting especially those that belong to the Lord Jesus Christ, his children. But nonetheless, you're looking at what is the narrative regarding what is not even a natural environment, and it's the cause for the manufactured emergencies, where the demons who are firefighters are part of the same surveillance system. They just happen to engage in putting out fires, which are manufactured. Okay, it's not the natural sun. It's us talking about an engineered environment. You're talking about making money, putting yourself on the news, painting yourself as heroes while you're engaged in this satanic system of surveillance. That's actually the focus and the purpose of these fire departments, not putting out fires. They just incidentally engage in putting out fires while surveillance is underway. That's why they're engaged in criminal summoning. That's why they're group stalking at the Hesperia Hotel. Okay, and that's the reality, and that's showing the priority, not putting out fires. The priority is group stalking. That's why a whole fake sun remained over that hotel. And so this is what I captured. This is what I said I wanted to capture in this video, and I am capturing this video at 1:07 p.m. just to show the time frame. I'm capturing the light source directly over the apartment, over the top of my head. This is the zenith. And by the way, this is where the light source remains hours yesterday. The light source is still at the same location where I'm showing you at 5:55 in the evening. It's at the same address, okay? And that's speaking to non-movement of a light source. This is the same pattern of conduct. This is where an entity is rising and setting a fake sun, speaking to the center of the universe, speaking to an intent by a population. This is the light source at 6:07 through the windshield of a vehicle parked on this property in the parking lot. This is what I documented. This third party is engaged in group stalking, license 7X82385, group stalking at Woodside Senior Apartments where the sun is rising and setting. And by the way, to see the light source through the rear windshield is the absence of any sun at the Holiday Inn, where I am, again, literally at the same time, capturing the light source through the bedroom window of my hotel on the third floor, facing that Motel 6. Okay, there's no coexisting. This is not occurring at the same time. You cannot see this through the hotel window of the Holiday Inn in Hesperia, California. Nor is the sun rising and setting at the Holiday Inn in Hesperia, California. The entity is placing a light source, speaking to the environment that is being maintained, while demons, a population, are intentionally and knowingly maintaining elements, which is how demons, demonic activity, which is keeping you under surveillance, is underway. And it includes demons who make up the corrupt police department, the Ontario Police Department. There is the fake one, and there's OPD repeatedly flying over this apartment, vibrating the apartment. That's called sensational activity creation. All right, and this is where the fake sun was, right here where I'm pointing my finger. That's what they're doing also while the entity is engaging in trying to conceal evidence of my videos that are published onto YouTube for the prosecution. It's evidence for the prosecution of the state of California, because demons such as Mike Lorenz, this is not only a criminal, not only a corrupt government leader by virtue of the criminal activity that the Ontario police are engaging in. He's a criminal as well. He is accountable as well for criminal activity. You're not ignorant about a pattern of conduct that an entire police department and multiple law enforcement agencies in the state and outside of the state are engaging in. You are not reasonably contending ignorance. You are fully engaged in it. And this is years that the terrorist organization OPD has been engaged in it. And not only that, you need to know Mike Lorenz specifically is a demon-possessed person. This is a demon-possessed group stalker that is calling himself in a position where Satan has strategically placed him as a chief of police. He's going to be fired. The entity is engaged in obstruction of justice, trying to remove my evidence off the internet, which is I'm continuously documenting. I'm publishing it, and it's going toward the prosecution of YouTube. You're looking at the light activity at 7:32 in the morning, where the entity is keeping a fake sun, which would be on the opposite side of where you're seeing it at 12. During 12 in the day, and I stepped out to show that there's no light source here. Not that it's an explanation for this light activity. It's not. It's not. But in the same way that the fake sun rapidly disappears and I step back in and you see this same light activity on the wall over here, it has nothing to do with the light source. That's why you have the same light activity. I'm going to show you this that I captured in the morning. This is the same light activity here. This is the same light activity that I captured. This is what I captured at 7:32 in the morning. This is light activity that's coming through upright on the wall while there's shade outside, having nothing to do with the fake sun. It's not the sun, nor is it sunlight. Satan is maintaining an environment. This is a demonic environment. It is identifying the presence of Satan and demons who are engaging in what is a demonic stalking. It's surveillance, and it's satanic at its core. And it is shown through an environment that is not even naturally explainable. This light activity that's occurring on the inside of the apartment, it's not based on the natural environment. It's not that which is going to occur or produce from sunlight. The angle that's coming through this window behind the front door. This is the same light activity that I'm capturing in the afternoon, hours later. Here it is. Behind that's the closet door. My hand is enlarged in size, first of all, but I want you to see what I'm capturing behind the front door inside of the apartment before I open the front door. This is the light activity. It's still there. It's maintained presence, and it's above the door. It's going behind the door all the way down to the floor. Laughing because it's so ridiculous. Not because this is funny, and not because that this is anything humorous or to be made light of whatsoever. This demonic is so unintelligent, and it is obvious. It's right in front of your face. And this is serving for the idiots who are stalking under a fake sun, and it includes the Ontario Police Department, just like the Los Angeles Police Department. I want you to see this because this is light activity coming above, and it's shooting behind the door, and it's shooting down the wall. This is what I captured in the morning, all right, where the light source is not above the head, nor is it an explanation. It's supposedly rising outside of the Hesperia Holiday Inn at 9750 Key Point, which is what I document on an ongoing basis, reference the documentation. And this is also the same light activity that I captured in the evening at 5:48 p.m. The same exact pattern. You see the light that's appearing, coming backward, ricocheting through the window. And this is in the evening, the light activity behind a front door. And this is the light activity in the morning. All right, behind a front door, having nothing to do with the light source, which, by the way, is at the same property. I'm showing you right here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was still here at this property. So that's speaking to, the sun is also setting here. It's not going anywhere. For the light source to still be here at 5 o'clock, this is the same location. I'm at the same apartment complex. That's not the sun. Nor is it the sun while it's remaining at the Holiday Inn in Hesperia. And this is what I referenced as I am documenting the state. The entity is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's keeping a fake sun directly over me while I am remaining. The entity is maintaining a light source for the duration of the day, and that's showing the light source while I am at this Holiday Inn. But I want to show you because I've captured it in the evening on an ongoing basis. So I'll just go ahead and take a couple seconds. Let me show you during the 5 o'clock hour is what is a light source that's not possibly the sun. 3:06 in the afternoon. That's the entity keeping, if it's at the Holiday, I am at Alvarado, not Alvarado, I've been in so many venues. I am at Woodside Senior Apartments in Ontario. You just saw the picture of the light source directly above me at 12:56 in the afternoon. You saw the video and the images of the light source at this same apartment complex at 5 o'clock after 5:55 p.m. where, by the way, the hallmark of stalking, you're identifying stalking by the engineered light, the light source, and the demons who are group stalking maintaining elements. They abide by a specific code of conduct. That's how you know it's also stalking. The entity's pattern is they're pointing to each other. All right, so the hallmark is presence in that specific environment, helicopter. And by the way, the OPD, those are notorious terrorists, very heavily documented, and they are documented kidnappers. Okay, Mike Lorenz knows exactly what's going on regarding the use of the helicopters, regarding the demon possession of those criminals that call themselves police officers, because Mike Lorenz is of the same condition, engaged in the same criminal activity. And that's what you are when you're a chief of police over a terrorist organization. by the way. So this is the entity keeping the light source. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, while I'm subject to terrorism. Walking down the hallway does not create an earthquake inside of my hotel room. These are the demons that are with CAL FIRE. All right, and doing so again in the middle of the afternoon. Well, there's no sun that's at that's at Woodside Senior Apartments. It's remaining through a hallway window, creating what's supposedly sunlight. It's not. It's engineered light appearing on the inside of a building, while it's outside of the same window that I'm capturing at 7:51 in the morning. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is what I captured yesterday at the same exact apartment complex, Woodside Senior Apartments. Look at the screenshots that I'm capturing. I'm always juxtaposing where was it at the same time on a different day, because it's not the natural environment. What is outside of this window, seen over the 7-Eleven, is not over Woodside Senior Apartments, but what you will see is a pattern of stalking in helicopters in that specific environment, which is specifically demonic. It's specifically impossible to occur, and that's a scientific fact, that it is impossible to naturally occur. It is the environment where the entity is maintaining a light source well after 5 p.m. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you that, because the entity is maintaining a light source over me. Here you go, 5:40 p.m. And at 5:55 p.m., this is in Hesperia. This is where the entity maintained a light source. You're looking at Tracy Banks, who's engaged in Title 18. This is what speaker companies would engage in the specific environment while they know that they're being documented. This is the same, again, Tracy Banks is the same one that's stalking while the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is flying over my head in helicopter under the fake sun when I'm in Rancho Cucamonga looking right at her. This is where the entity is engaging and keeping the fake sun over me, and I'm in her apartment when I step out and show you the fake moon, and Ontario Police Department is group stalking in a helicopter. She's the one that's engaged in Title 18 right now, calling my phone with regard to both, number one, wanting to be a distraction, but number two, engaged in federal stalking. She's still monitoring. This is a malicious psychopath who is threatening my life, engaged in the ongoing conspiracy with the state and the people, violent sex offenders who are failing at the criminal act of seeking to sacrifice someone, conspiring to murder and kidnap them. That's what that text message information reveals to you. It's already within the P.O.C. You know what this is. And this is where the entity is keeping this fake sun at 5:40 p.m. outside of my hotel window. Well, the entity is keeping the fake sun in alignment to me, where the Ontario Police Department are stalking in a helicopter.
That's the fake sun at 5:47 p.m.
I'm sorry, 5:55 is when the video
at Monrovia, Courtyard by Monrovia.
5:49. Let me repeat that. 5:49 p.m. is no sun that's through the hotel window at Holiday Inn, and where the sun is rising, and it stays there. It's setting. As late as 6:49 p.m., 6:58 p.m., I'm capturing the light source at Holiday Inn through my hotel window. Engineered light pushing through my hotel room door. My shadow is upright in the depths of that hotel room. You've already seen the evidence. There's no sun that's ever going to be here at Woodside Senior Apartments, but you already knew that because I documented Woodside Senior Apartments first, before I relocated to LA, before I went to the San Diego Police Department at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and captured the light source, which is not going to be over my head at this time in Ontario, California. The San Diego Police Department at 1401 Broadway in San Diego, California, they're engaged in the pattern of conduct. There is no shared environment with 408 West G Street in Ontario, California, where, by the way, the entity is indeed engaged in the hallmark, stalking in helicopters, just like San Diego, under a fake sun and an engineered light, stalking in helicopters. This is the pattern of conduct. All right? This is the pattern of conduct, and it's statewide, and this is a demon that's acting with impunity. Engages in the demonstrating demon possession, going into the apartment with simultaneity to my operation of a communication device. This is a demon engaged in surveillance, not free, constitutionally protected activity. This is one that is subject to federal prison as well, because Ontario PD, they're engaged in 24-hour surveillance using helicopters, terrorizing me while they know also what I'm doing online, which this third party in apartment number 42 is fully engaged in that pattern of conduct while I am inside of my apartment under the fake sun. This is the context when you're understanding the in-sync conduct by the demons who are stalking in the path of light activity, while you're walking in the engineered light. You're monitoring me. You're group stalking while I'm looking at ricocheting light inside of the apartment. My hand is magnified on the wall at a distance in front of me. That's the pattern of conduct. Okay? So this is what I wanted to show you. This is what I was speaking of in my video here. All right, I'm pointing out all the impossible light activity, and rapidly that fake sun disappears. You already know that it's not the sun at any time of day, and you also know that the entity that is currently engaged in criminal activity online, seeking to obstruct an American citizen's ability to blow the whistle while the government is actively seeking to conspire to take your life and kidnap you permanently, because there's no legitimate purpose for engaging in criminal surveillance, stalking someone, pursuing them in helicopters, psychologically torturing them, stalking them like the demon in apartment 55, just harassing for fun because Satan is hostile towards you, and Satan knows who you are based on the spirit in you, not the color of your skin, not the content even of your character, but because of the spirit that is within you. That's the definition of who you are, and Satan knows exactly who you are. That's why the demons are targeting you. That's how you know what this is in apartment 55 above me. You know what that is in apartment 42 across from me. You know what that is in the parking lot outside in the vehicle with this license plate. Again, engage in that pattern of conduct. Make sure I document that. Put this in the video. She's going to be prosecuted as a domestic terrorist, group stalking, coming onto the grounds. This is the likes of the government was relying on this conduct by a population license 9JUZ 605. And this is what's going on an ongoing. It is P.O.C. It is currently, again, 1:33 p.m. on September 16, 2024. P.O.C.